And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
All the homes are gone.
All the homes are gone.
Because of climate change.
Because of climate change.
When the fires are
When
out.
the fires are out.
I'll build a brand new LA.
I'll build a brand new LA.
Here's $700.
Here's $700.
Land grab is underway.
Land grab is underway.
California's
burning.
And the fire department's gay. Looters in the streets. Illegals on the way. Well, I went to fight the fire.
Went to fight the fire.
But there's no water today.
There's no water today.
LA is burning down.
LA's burning down.
But smellfish are okay.
Smellfish are okay.
California's
burning.
But my mansion's okay.
Look, guys, I know I probably didn't do the best job of hiring people, but I'm the mayor. And that's all that matters.
And all I care about is money and power.
Me too.
But I'm the governor, and that's all that matters.
Look, I know you lost your house, but cheer up. We got the Olympics coming to California.
Yeah, and all I know is your memories are gone.
Gone.
And they're burned to a
Burned to a
crisp.
crisp.
But Los Angeles is hosting the World Cup.
Yeah, look on the bright side, guys. This is why you keep voting for us. You can't live without
Right?
us, guys. So get over it.
Get over it,
keep
guys.
voting for us.
The city's almost
The city's almost gone.
In DEI we pray.
In DEI we pray.
Speculators
Speculators coming.
2.0 is underway.
2.0 is underway.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. Thanks for being here, all of you censored commoners. I'm Lord Sterling, and this is episode 318. James O'Keefe busts a Pentagon advisor plotting with retired generals to do something against Trump. Super sketchy. We'll be covering that in depth. This guy also has somewhat of a sketchy past, as we will see, allegedly, of course. We have arsonists being arrested in California. The Pam Bondi, John Ratcliffe, and Marco Rubio confirmation hearings. We've got Pence sabotaging RFK Jr., telling senators not to vote for him. Super messed up. Make sure to join us Monday through Friday, 6:45 p.m.-ish Eastern Time, as we cover all the crazy clown world clusterfuck chaos that is 2025. Use hashtag Common Censored and hashtag InfoInfantry when you share the show. You can find us on X at Lord Sterling _. We're also on Truth, Getter, Gab, Minds. And don't forget about our Discord if you want to hang out with us behind the scenes. Thank you to our new followers on Rumble. Appreciate you guys. Links to all of the content we discussed today will be posted down in the video description. Actually, the links are already down there. But Mama Mac will be adding timestamps as we go. So if you're watching this later on and need to maximize the efficiency of your time, focus, and attention, click on down there, the video description, find the topics that interest you, and jump right to that point in the podcast where we talk about said topics that interest you. Thanks, Mama Mac. Throw Mama Mac some love over at alplama.com, your new herbal health guru. Avoid the petrochemical pharmaceutical industry that wants you sick and dependent, and try some natural tinctures to remedy your ailments. If you want to support the show directly, you can head up over to our link tree at Common Censored. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Boom. All right, let's jump into it, everybody. Starting off, we had this, like I think Monty said it, insult to the mamas and the papas by the United Spot over here at the United Spot _. All the homes are gone. Brutal song about the wildfires in California. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess. How about this mess? We have the Biden SEC now suing Elon Musk over his Twitter stock purchase, accusing him of underpaying investors by more than $150 million. Okay, I got a feeling Trump will drop this. As soon as he gets into office, I don't see this going anywhere. But Biden's Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, on Tuesday filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk over his 2022 purchase of Twitter. In October 2022, Elon Musk officially closed the deal to purchase Twitter for $54.2 per share, or about $44 billion. According to SEC, Elon Musk allegedly failed to properly disclose his 5% Twitter stock purchase in 2022 in the months leading up to his purchase of the platform. Didn't we all know that? We were all talking about how he was purchasing stock. It seems like a ridiculous claim. The SEC claimed because Elon Musk purchased the stock at, quote, artificially low prices, he underpaid investors by $150 million. Quote, Musk paid significantly less for the shares of Twitter common stock he purchased between March 25th, 2022 and April 1st, 2022 than if he had timely disclosed, the lawsuit said, according to CNN. Politico reported the Security and Exchange Commission on Tuesday filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk over the billionaire's alleged failure to properly disclose his purchase of Twitter stock in 2022 for 11 days. Oh no, 11 days. Musk, the world's richest man and a major backer of President-elect Donald J. Trump, allegedly failed to properly file notice that he had acquired a major stake in Twitter. And the SEC said in a court filing on Wednesday, SEC said that as a result, Musk benefited from what it described as, quote, artificially low prices as he snatched up shares in the company. Quote, in total, Musk underpaid Twitter investors by more than $150 million for his purchases of Twitter common stock during this period. SEC said in the complaint, investors who sold Twitter common stock during this period did so at artificially low prices and thus suffered substantial economic harm. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. But I guess we'll see what happens, guys. In other news, President Trump announces the deal for hostages in the Middle East, and it will be released shortly. Hashtag Trump Effect. Trump Effect, baby. Trump announced Wednesday. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is Wednesday today, isn't it? Which means that it is also Hump Day.
Hump Day!
Can't forget Hump Day, aka Trump Day. So he announced today that a deal was reached for the release of Jewish hostages in the Middle East. Hostages will be released shortly. Trump posted the news on Truth Social, saying, we have a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Thank you. In a separate post, he wrote, quote, this epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of our historic victory in November. Yeah, you think it's a coincidence this is happening days before Trump takes office? I don't think so. As it signaled to the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies. I'm thrilled. American and Israeli hostages will be returning home to be reunited with their families and loved ones. With this deal in place, my national security team, through these efforts of Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will continue to work closely with Israel and our allies to make sure Gaza never again becomes a terrorist safe haven. We will continue promoting, quote, peace through strength throughout the region as we build upon the momentum of this ceasefire to further expand the historic Abraham Accords. Yeah, bring back the Abraham Accords. This is only the beginning of great things to come for America and indeed the world. We have achieved so much without even being in the White House. It was pretty amazing. Just imagine all of the wonderful things that will happen when I return to the White House and my administration is fully confirmed so they can secure more victories for the United States. If the Federal Reserve doesn't pull the economy out from under Trump, which is probably going to happen, they're probably going to try to tank the economy. to ruin the second Trump administration if they don't pop off some greater war. And if they do pop off a greater war, then probably both will happen. But according to reports, Hamas will release 33 Israeli hostages, including women's, children's, and elderly individuals. In exchange, Israel will release 50 Palestinian prisoners for every Israeli female soldier and 30 for other hostages released by Hamas. Good. That Israel's holding way more hostages. They're the aggressors. They're the terrorists. They allowed 10/7 to occur with the Iron Dome standing down. They should give up more hostages. So this is good to see. This development comes after President Trump issued an ultimatum to Hamas terrorists. What about the Israeli terrorists, Gateway Pundit? In a no-holds-barred press conference at Mar-a-Lago following the certification of his 2024 election victory, President-elect Trump issued a stern warning to Hamas, etc., saying all hell will break out. So this is a good development. Apparently, the Trump envoy Steve Witkoff swayed Netanyahu more in one meeting than Biden did in all year on the Gaza peace situation. Even Israeli media is clearly attributing the achievement of the Gaza ceasefire deal to President-elect Donald J. Trump and his team. President Biden, too, at one point in an afternoon press conference hailing the deal, acknowledged that he spoke as, quote, one team, unquote, with Trump on the Gaza deal. According to the Times of Israel, quote, a tense weekend meeting between Prime Minister Bibi and incoming Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff led to a breakthrough in hostage negotiations, with the top aide to the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump doing more to sway the premier in a single sit-down than outgoing President Joe Biden did all year, two Arab officials told the Times of Israel on Tuesday. Witkoff has been in Doha for the past week to take part in the hostage negotiations as mediators try to secure a deal before Trump's January 20 inauguration. On Saturday, Witkoff flew to Israel for a meeting with Netanyahu at the premier's Jerusalem office. During the meeting, Witkoff urged Netanyahu to accept key compromises necessary for an agreement. The two Arab officials on Monday told the Times of Israel on condition of anonymity. Neither Witkoff nor Netanyahu's office responded to requests for further comment. And Biden, as you can see here, was not very happy about this. He snapped at a reporter asking if Trump deserves credit for ceasefire, hostage release, and then his State Department spokesperson says this. Joe Biden on Wednesday snapped at a reporter asking if Trump deserved credit. Let's watch.
Thank you.
Folks, credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh, thank you.
Trump, clearly. Obviously, it would be a joke if anybody suggested that Biden deserved any credit. So maybe that's what Biden meant. Maybe he was saying, obviously, it's Trump. What are you joking? You think I did this? Anderson Inc. in the house. What's up, Sean? Hope you're having a good week, brother. Happy hump day, my friend. Boom. If you're in Connecticut and need tattoos, look up my boy Sean over at Anderson Inc. He'll take good care of you. A few minutes later, after this interaction with the press, Joe Biden's State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller admitted President Trump's team has been critical to getting the hostage release deal done. Here we have this clip.
When it comes to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's been critical
Couldn't have done
because,
anything.
obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of this deal. And Egypt and Qatar will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2. And the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I would just say, lastly, I don't know if it's unprecedented to have.
Yeah, Whiskey saying Iran released hostages when Reagan took office. Coincidence? Peace through strength. Didn't he lift that straight from Reagan? Not surprising, Whiskey. Great parallel. Thanks for pointing that out.
Envoys from an outgoing and an incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind. But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual. And we, of course, thank the Trump team for working with this on this ceasefire agreement. We think
Much more diplomatic than creepy, sleepy, crooked Joe.
it's important that they were at the table. And
Look at this lady over here doing the sign language. What a joke,
an
man.
incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind. But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual. And
I hope that Trump gets rid of the whole sign language thing. Sorry, not trying to discriminate. It's just fucking distracting. Use closed captions. That's fine. We don't need to see somebody doing all this fucking weird ass shit constantly in every freaking broadcast we see. The Trump effect continues. In other news, as Florida vice mayor switches to the Republican Party, Tyler Durden put this article up on Zero Hedge. I love that they have all their articles posted by none other than Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Classic. In the 2024 election, there was a huge shift to the right as counties across the country rejected the failed policies of the Biden administration and embraced the Don once again. Look at this big red rebound over here. The map shows the percentage point changes in 2024 results from 2020 in counties where votes are nearly all counted. At least 2,630 counties shifted more Republican, and 302 turned more Democratic. Hilarious. So continuing the trend, the city of Doral, Florida, Vice Mayor Maureen Porras announced she's left the Demon Rat Party and registered as a Republican, citing, quote, socialist ideas, she says, have seeped into the left. People are noticing all the commie pinko bullshit that has fully saturated the Demon Rat leftists at this point. The Floridian notes, quote, this is yet another big blow to the core of the Florida Demon Rat Party. Vice Mayor Porras becoming a Republican all but confirms that a growing number of Demon Rats, both at the municipal and state level, do not see a future or a way forward as registered Demon Rats. After the 2024 presidential election, two Democrat state representatives, Hillary Cassell and Susan Valdez, changed their party affiliations to Republican. And don't forget the entire hashtag Walk Away movement, chronicling tens of thousands of Demon Rats, former Demon Rats, who left the Democrat Party and moved right. Porras told the Floridian that she grew frustrated with the Demon Rat Party and praised Donald Trump's re-election, characterizing his win over VP Kamala Heels Up Harris as, quote, a clear and resounding message from voters that our country needed a strong leader, adding, quote, President Trump's leadership transcends all levels of government. That's true, and you can tell that because he's not even president yet, and shit around the world is changing. It's fucking nuts, dude. The amount of influence that Trump has, like, he is irreplaceable. There's nobody else on earth that can just say something. Say, oh, the governor of Canada, the 51st state, and then like cause the entire Canadian government to collapse. Like it's nuts. This is a crazy time to be alive. Like that old Chinese proverb, the blessing and curse simultaneously. May you live in interesting times. Well, we are definitely living in interesting times, guys. She added that the Demon Rat Party doesn't represent her, quote, values and those of the majority of Americans. Demon Rat Party has progressively moved further and further away from representing my values and those of the majority of the Americans. Porras continued. If you want the full transcription of the interview, link will be, it's already in the description. Feel free to grab it, share it out as we continue forth. Uncommon Censored, episode 318. In other news, LA police chief says that 3 suspected arsonists have been arrested after being caught amid the deadly wildfires in California. Jack Phillips wrote this at the Epic Times, reposted by ZeroHedge.com. The Los Angeles Police Department Chief Jim McDonnell on Tuesday. Is this a new chief or I thought that crazy lady was the chief. Did she actually get fired? Because people were saying that she got fired last week, but then she was meeting with the governor, or not the governor, the mayor, and she didn't get fired. So I don't know what's going on. Who's Jim McDonnell? Where does this guy coming from? He gave more details, on the arrests of the arson suspects in light of wildfires that have scorched thousands of acres. Man, what a picture. This is crazy. On Sunday night, our North Hollywood officers responded to a call of a possible arson suspect who was using a barbecue lighter to light fires. One of those lighters with the long neck on it. Officers arrived at the scene, and the suspect was arrested for an outstanding felony warrant for arson and booked into the Van Nuys jail. So he already had an outstanding felony warrant for arson. We got the firebugs guys setting everything ablaze out in California. Insane. A day later, police made 2 more, quote, arrests related to the fires, including an arrest on Van Nuys Boulevard after a suspected arsonist lit a fire in nearby brush, he added. That fire was extinguished, thankfully, by LAFD officials, McDonnell said, adding that the individual was arrested on arson charges and is currently in jail. Also on Monday, officials responded to a radio call of a suspected arsonist on San Vicente Boulevard in the West LA area. He said that person had set alight a nearby trash can, which was extinguished by fire officials. Alight, I like that word. Not in this context, but nonetheless, let's continue. Quote, citizens directed the officers to the suspect location, where he was then taken into custody without incident. The police chief said video from local businesses showed footage of the suspect starting fires in that area. He was booked into our jail for arson. No details on the suspect's names, countries of origin, or other details were provided. Come on, guys, we want the details. The 3 arson arrests, which took place outside the fire area, were in addition to 14 arrests made by the LAPD in the Palisades fire area. McDonnell said those arrests included curfew violations. Curfews are fucking unconstitutional. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can't tell people they have to go inside. Fuck you. This is America. I thought this was America. Impersonating a police officer and firefighter. Some of the looters were impersonating firefighters, as we heard the other day. Ammunition. I don't know what the arrests for ammunition, burglary, and other offenses. Meanwhile, in sheriff-patrolled fire areas, there have been 39 arrests for looting, illegal operation of drones that could interfere with firefighting aircraft, curfew violations, fuck you, and other alleged crimes, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna said. So, more details in the full article if you want the link in the video description on Rumble below. Check it out. We also had another kind of disturbing interaction that took place in Topanga Canyon, which is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, in my opinion, with this baked reddish brown clay and rocks just everywhere. It's just like the coolest place, man. It sucks that this is happening to our beautiful California. Anyway, folks living near the devastating Pacific Palisades wildfire are on high alert after a resident confronted a suspicious hiker on a remote road in Topanga, and now cops are involved. This was on a fire trail, apparently, where the bulldozer had been going through, helping to create this fire break. And this is just a strange interaction. I'm just curious to what you guys think about this. Is this suspicious or not? I think it's fucking suspicious. Wildfires. Topanga resident confronts a suspicious hiker. Cops investigating. This is from TMZ.
How's it going? Huh?
He's just watching Boyd's.
You're lost? Where are you trying to go? How can I help you?
Yep, I love Texas too, Donna. Haven't been to those areas though.
Where are you trying to go? I can help you get there. Where are you coming from?
That guy is, his name is Climate E Change. What I saw.
Over by a neighborhood, like directly that way?
I know lots of trails. I live here. How can I help you? And where are you going and where are you coming from?
Oh.
Thanks, Try. I got
To
an
where?
article about that too.
I can help you, but I don't. You have to help me understand where you're going.
Well, sir, I'm actually not from here.
I can tell. So where do you want to go?
I have a flight out tomorrow. If I can just get off the trail, I'll probably head back down to San Diego.
What are you doing up here?
My son lives here.
Who's your son?
I'd rather not say.
Why?
But I just don't think it's pertinent information.
Okay.
Banging microphone on
there's
that
a
phone.
way out of here if you. I mean, I can. There's a couple ways out. I don't know which way you want to go.
Well, the original idea coming out this way was to hike eastward and then kind of come down in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. Where's your flight leaving from?
San Diego.
So he's just wandering through the fucking Topanga wilderness on his way down to Santa Monica so that he could then catch a flight from San Diego? Like, what the fuck is going on here, dude?
Yeah, it's definitely closed to anybody. Like, it's closed to people. Yeah. If you don't live here, you're not supposed to be here right now. There's a curfew, and yeah, no. I mean, it's a little suspicious. I'm just gonna let you know that. You know, you're hiking around with a backpack in a fire zone, following a bulldozer who's the last man out of here. You know.
Wander through
It's a little suspicious, bro.
On a horse with no name.
What's in your backpack?
Basically traveling kit. Definitely not any like lighter fluid or anything of the sort.
If I come over there and I find lighter fluid, man, you're not gonna like how it ends, bro.
I mean, I'm gonna let you take my bag, sir.
Well, we can go two ways, bro. Okay, look, I'm a nice human being, but if you're lighting fires up here, bro, like...
You don't seem like a nice human being.
I don't?
Seems like you're trying to accost me.
No, I'm just trying to
It's like, no,
do
I
what's
fucking
good
live
for my
here, dude.
community, sir.
Mister, I don't know what that means.
I don't know, you know, no offense, bro. I'm kind of done with
No offense, bro. Got it done with this shit. I don't know what happened after that video. Apparently we don't know, but here's the article from TMZ. Topanga resident confronts suspicious hiker. Cops investigating. We have a video from a couple of the TMZ dudes
in the
over
midst
here.
of this just unimaginable devastation in Los Angeles. And I got to tell you, you can watch it on TV, but
detain him.
Boy, it doesn't have the impact when you just see it. And it is unbelievable what is going on around our fair city.
And there are a lot of people who are angry about it and angry about reports of arsonists, people that have been seen in neighborhoods, some of them arrested, where local residents feel that these people were starting fires, if not the fires that are burning, but trying to start other fires. Case in point.
Well, the authorities are actually honing in on a place in Pacific Palisades, or a street on Pacific Palisades.
At the top of on the Highlands.
Which they think is the origin of the Pacific Palisades fire. But we got a very interesting video. This was shot Sunday at 5:20 in the afternoon in Topanga Canyon, one of the areas that was hit hard by these wildfires. And it is a hiker that somebody saw. And one of the residents in this area realized it wasn't somebody who lives in that area. It's a small community, and everybody knows everybody. And this person seemed to be a stranger. and there was something.
And seemed to be wandering, and it just caught this
on
resident's eye.
on a fire trail.
Right. Right
On a
after
fucking fire trail.
firefighters had actually cleared, and you'll hear them reference a bulldozer going through, where they're clearing the path so that there's no vegetation to burn. And this guy comes walking along, wandering, and a local resident gave him the 3rd degree.
You're lost? Where are you trying to go? How can I help you?
Is there a trailhead nearby?
Where are you trying to go? I can help you get there.
Trying to get off the trail.
To where? I can help you, but you have to help me understand where you're going.
Well, sir, I'm actually not from here.
I can tell.
My son lives here.
Let's skip through the video since we
Sent
saw
to police.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, no offense, bro. I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah. And this video, by the way, was sent to police, and we found they are investigating. It is weird, and you get why residents who are on edge would be taken aback by.
They're being vigilant right now because, look, we're not saying this guy is an arsonist. It's just weird. And we contacted the police. They said they were actually having a meeting on that this morning on this video. But it is, I got to tell you, they've arrested 3 arsonists today, or suspected arsonists.
Suspected arsonists.
So this is just a thing that's going on right now in the midst of this. They still don't know how all of these fires started, but when you see things like this, and that, by the way, at the end of this video, we didn't show this, but the guy says...
Well, actually, it's right after you saw how the video ended. The guy says, look, I'm sick of this. And it almost sounds like he's going to confront the stranger. We don't know. We don't know if he actually did confront him. We just know that the video was shared with police, and now they're investigating.
So this is the times we live in now, right? We've seen this in response to a lot of disasters where everybody is more diligent. We're all very sensitive to anything that might look out of place. I'm not sure that individual citizens have a right to stop somebody and accost them like that. But that said, if we see strange things, we're going to intervene.
Well, if you believe a crime is being committed, right, you can...
Well, he didn't do any... What he did... So far, what we saw on video is fine. I mean, you're allowed to ask people questions about... The guy could walk away if he wanted to.
He could have just walked away.
But there was a latent threat behind that, right?
He just said, I want answers, but he didn't do it. I mean, I don't... he's far enough away that I don't think he did anything wrong.
Hi, Melissa from Washington. We're dealing with an area that's just had major devastation. First off, why are you up there hiking? That's obviously going to look fishy. He gets confronted. He immediately jumps to, there's not lighter fluid in there. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be caught dead in that area right now. So the biggest question is, what is he really doing up there? And did you just get lost up there? Where are you going?
I got to tell you, as somebody who's been a reporter for many, many years, if I was the guy holding that camera asking those questions, my spidey senses are going up higher and higher each time he gives this kind of evasive answer.
Yeah.
And, who's your son? I'd rather not say. And then I don't have lighter fluid in my backpack.
Yeah, why did you jump to that?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
We'll see. We will see.
If you were single. Oh, man. So let's look at a couple of the comments down here. So the people that voted for open borders are now concerned about suspicious characters. Is this a joke? As a side note, the use of the term bro is completely out of control now. I hate to wear this tinfoil suit, but I think this was all a plan. Newsom just announced their $2.5 billion plan to rebuild LA in a, quote, new direction, unquote. This dude is from the country somewhere in the South, or Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee. Suspicious as hell. Oh, man, I saw some... Oh, this is potentially the guy. Spotted another place. Hand in the pocket. Looks like somebody was saying... The guy literally never moves. He has one hand in his pocket the whole time, likely on a weapon. Here he is again, one hand in the pocket. Is this a protrusion down there that could be from the barrel of a pistol? His hand is up high in the pocket, which means he's probably holding something that's pointing down and touching the bottom of the pocket. So he could be holding a pistol there. Is this the same guy? We don't know. But it looks like generally he's wearing the backpack. He was described as being about 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. This looks like the same color sweatshirt that the guy was wearing. So who knows? Anyone know this guy? The gentleman on the video sounds way older. I don't know about that, man. He said he was visiting his kid. The kid could be a baby. He could be separated from the mother, and the kid could be living with the mother, and that's what he could have meant. But who knows, man? That's a Buc-ee's hoodie. Speaking of Buc-ee's, we were talking about Buc-ee's the other day. You are correct, says this poster. Buc-ee's hoodie, size small, galaxy print logo, unisex. Unisex! Who knows, man? Who knows? Somebody posted about the Rise Above movement, a militant alt-right, quote-unquote, Southern California-based street fighting group. What? A guy was caught on camera setting Christmas. What the fuck? A guy was caught on camera setting fires in Melrose, California. Who knows, guys? Who knows? So if anybody has any idea who this guy is, that seems to be a pertinent question. Maybe the same guy, maybe not. Same posture, it looks like. In other news, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna pushes the death penalty for child predators. Nice. Elon Musk saying yes. Just as one word, typical post-boosting tactic. Two of her three bills, all of which are being introduced in the 119th Congress, would require sentences of death, or at least life imprisonment, for those charged with a wide range of crimes related to the children. Rep. Luna, quote, "If you are raping someone, if you're molesting someone, you are essentially murdering their soul. These people never fully recover." Well said, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna. Third bill would mandate 30 years to life for adults convicted of rape or sexual abuse. What about the wood chippers, Anna Paulina Luna? Hopefully there's a section in these bills so that the method of execution would be indeed the wood chippers. That's what we recommend at this channel. For suggested methods of capital punishment after due process, of course. Spikes for the pandemic perpetrators. Ropes for treason, wood chippers for pedos, and volcanoes for the climate change hoaxers destroying the industrial and electrical and energy capacity of the country. Due process right into volcanoes. That's my position. So this is good. Oh, man. Yeah, Trump, I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer. Sounds good, too. Sounds good. Ooh, look at this. Breaking news 6 months ago. Okay. Member of Parliament confirms he had evidence of a child trafficking operation in the UK involving hundreds and hundreds of children being sold to pedophiles. He gave evidence to MI5, NCA. They will not act. Interesting. I'll add this to the show notes if you guys want to check that out as well. But let's see what we got next on the list over here. Boom. All right. We have, this is where it gets real crazy. Watch. O'Keefe Media Group exposes former FBI special agent and self-described, quote, spy hunter, and who's a current senior advisor at the Department of Defense, Pentagon, giving tell-all on Defense Department's plan to sabotage the incoming Trump admin. This is crazy. O'Keefe Media Group has released footage from their investigation into Department of Defense advisor Jamie Manina, revealing that he's working behind the scenes with third-party groups and retired generals to undermine Trump's incoming administration. For more details, let's hop over to @RealAlexJones, who's posting about this global bombshell. James O'Keefe busts Hillary Clinton-backed deep state Pentagon coup plotters in the act. The hunter has become the hunted. Learn why O'Keefe's undercover video may have just saved Trump's life in this must-see report. Must-see indeed. Thank you guys for being here with us to check it out. Share the link to the show now so that people can see this, because this is crazy, crazy stuff.
This time around, I mean, last time the FBI raided me. I know that you've been through some things. And when I confronted them, I actually said, what are you going to do, raid me? I almost taunted them a little bit. I think the difference is they are demoralized and obviously discouraged, and I think that's making a big difference in their inability to. What are they going to do to us at this point? We've caught them dead to rights. They're admitting it. They're being fired. So the hunter, I like to say, has become the hunted. The people that were hunting us are now being hunted by people they were hunting prior, And it's a big deal that what he's saying. And I think it's going to hopefully deter a lot of other bad actors in the government.
And I work at this top consulting firm, and my client is the Pentagon. So I'm embedded in the Pentagon. I work in the Joint Staff, which is the top military command. When she lost, I went into the intelligence community and I became an FBI special agent. So I became a spy hunter. So I was a counterintelligence agent, special agent at the FBI.
What's your overall assessment of Trump?
He's a sociopath.
The spy hunter isn't detecting the spy sitting literally directly in front of him, or the spy literally sitting directly to his left, James O'Keefe sitting next to the guy, videotaping him from the 90-degree side angle. The spy hunter. So good at his job, man. Poland McGroin. Poland McGroin says, dude looks like he offers kids candy. I don't want to spoil the surprise of the next story, but former FBI agent and Pentagon senior advisor outed by O'Keefe Media Group was allegedly filmed by Predator DC in November 2021 at a 15-year-old girl's home. Poland McGroin. I'm not doing that off camera. I'm referring to Poland McGroin in our chat, guys, I swear. Poland McGroin right on the money. Let's continue.
Psychopathic narcissist who is only interested in advancing his name, his wealth, and his fame.
Are you fucking kidding me? You really think that Donald Trump is a sociopathic narcissist? These people are so disconnected from reality with the intelligence. Fuck
agent at the FBI.
What's your overall assessment of Trump?
He's a sociopathic narcissist who is only interested in advancing his name, his wealth, and his fame.
Is there anything you can do to protect American people from stuff that he might try to do?
I'm in conversation with a couple of retired generals to try to explore what we can do.
Who were the retired generals that you were going to talk to?
They're like 1, 2, or 3 star generals and admirals. You probably know maybe 4 stars. So I also have a big day tomorrow, probably the biggest day of all. So we have this huge meeting with military leaders in a very secure room called the Tank.
Ooh.
So we have a tank meeting with all of the top leaders in the United States military tomorrow on my topic that I prepared.
So it went well?
I think it went well. It's very sensitive information. We're going to have to keep it between us. I specialize in artificial intelligence and...
He has been fired as of right now, Donna, just FYI.
Emerging technologies like quantum, cybersecurity.
Yeah. What's quantum? I haven't heard of it.
Quantum is incredibly fast supercomputing that doesn't yet exist but will soon exist. And when it does, it will change everything.
Hegseth. Who's that?
Secretary of Defense. He's cheated on all his girlfriends. He's had some sexual assault allegations. He's an alcoholic. There's a lot of observations of him drinking. You're not a spy? You're not trying to collect information from me?
I wish I was. That'd be cool.
Well, with me, literally with a former FBI agent, so you're gonna be safe.
Here he is.
So James O'Keefe joins us. He's broken so many of the top stories that without him, we would not be where we are today. Support O'Keefe Media Group. I mean, he exposed the Pfizer head of mRNA admitting they create viruses to release them to make money. I mean, now the documents have come out in Congress. I mean, it just goes on and on. But this is one of the most important stories ever because he has the key liaison from the civilian deep state into the Pentagon.
Yeah, Monty. Insane. This guy's talking about having secret meetings in the tank with retired generals to subvert Trump's incoming administration just to some fucking rando. These people are trained to not talk about the secret shit that they're working on and that they know. In frickin' sane, man. Unreal.
Plotting this coup to, quote, protect the people from Trump. And I just showed you all the newscasts where they said we've got to protect people from Trump's coup. What, the election? And you have the Democrats saying they want civil war conditions. So they're plotting something as the pretext. But with the latest, because there's been more developments since he released another huge video with tens of millions of views last night on X, James O'Keefe. James, thank you so much for being here. This is so massive. Thank God you literally were, through the grace of God and your great work, able to get the key manager inside this treasonous activity that's going on. So, James, thank you.
Alex, great to be with you. I apologize I was late. I was just producing. I confronted him. We're about to get that video out momentarily. But this guy, senior official at the Pentagon, Joint Chiefs of Staff inside this room, which is called the tank. Now, I've never heard of this, but apparently the tank is where the Joint Chiefs of Staff have their secret situation room inside the Pentagon. And he's disclosing all this to a total stranger. One of my journalistic colleagues recorded him, Alex. And last night we heard back from a spokesperson at the Pentagon he's apparently been fired. This is a former special agent, current senior advisor, Booz Allen Hamilton, and former assistant to Hillary Clinton. So we seem to have, it's the irony here. A spy hunter is what he describes himself as, evidently not a very good one.
It's just stunning, and we did play your report and the latest yesterday with the spokesperson from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. For me, the real angle here is, and I think you've been too shy about how big a coup this is. This is a coup of coups peacefully against their attempted coup with Hillary Clinton's operative, and they're open plotting in the media saying they need to have an uprising, and their plans, if Trump was to win in 2020, to have states secede in civil war conditions. Jamie Raskin promising that. Carble saying we're going to have to uprise if he does get in. I mean, they have governors and mayors talking about uprisings. I mean, they're planning something big. I know you just go to what you've caught him here doing, but this is a big deal.
Yeah, I got to be careful as the reporter here. I got to keep it to the quotes. But he does say he's working with retired generals to, quote, see what he can do regarding the incoming Trump administration. What's also interesting, Alex, is I've been talking to people today who think this is a really big deal. We're also trying to ask the Pentagon for the contract number of record, Booz Allen Hamilton. Now, they may not give that to us, but the tank is the skiff that is for the briefing, the Joint Chiefs inside the ring at the Pentagon. So I think we may have stumbled into something even bigger for the people I've been talking to. This guy is a spy hunter. He works in counterintelligence. And, one of the great stories within this story is that the United States requires, ever since George Washington and Benedict Arnold, they require people as counterintelligence to prevent our enemies from hurting us. And this guy is disclosing, thank God I'm not a Russian spy, but he's disclosing to people things that he shouldn't. It just shows the complete absurdity and the narcissism and the lack of professionalism from some of these people in the deep state, Alex. And I think there's more to this story, and I hope that this story encourages other people inside the government. They're already coming to me, obviously. But as you say, why is he fundraising? Why is he engaged in politics with generals to try to stop Trump? That is just crazy.
Well, they're creating the narrative, and I know you stay laser focused on breaking the original news, but I know you were busy getting your new report ready, which we're going to air as soon as it comes out, sir. I just spent an hour and a half before you came on showing the clips and the documents and the admissions that the Pentagon's been having secret meetings before the election and after on how to stop Trump doing illegal things. Then they list using the military to aid in deportation that's in the Constitution, and courts have ruled it's constitutional, to stop him. So they're clearly trying to come up with a narrative to demonize him, that he's a tyrant, to then stage some type of coup. And I think that's what you alluded to. Your sources are saying, no, this is bigger. Yeah, that's the war room of the Pentagon, the most secret place in the United States. And he's in there bragging that he's the one honchoing the plan because he represents Hillary and the deep state and Obama. I mean, you guys stumbled into the mother lode, and I was already saying that they're having meetings at the Pentagon for a coup because they've been kind of telegraphing it and admitting it. So this is the mother lode, sir.
Got to fill a thermos, Monty, so they can reload on the spot, brother.
Yeah, the SCIF is the secure compartmentalized facility. I'd never heard of this phrase, tank. I don't know, Alex, if you've heard of this
Yes,
before.
I have. It's very famous. No, it's the most secret war room.
The way that he ensnares his prey, Six, like a spider on a web, is with the dating apps. So they end up linking up with people on the dating apps, and they think they're just going on a regular date. But nope, you're being hunted.
That we publicly know of. They have one at Sidar that's very secret. They have one at Cheyenne Mountain, but this is the holy of holies.
Yes, and he was talking about the conversations with retired generals to stop Trump. He was also talking about what we can do regarding the incoming inauguration. This was on Friday, by the way. That meeting he had in the tank. It's now, what day is it today? Wednesday. This was literally last Friday. He had this meeting. The recording you're watching occurred the day prior to and the day right after that meeting. Those recordings are made on Thursday and Saturday of last week. I'll also tell you, Alex, I was physically sitting next to the guy as the girl was recording him. That was kind of like a very light disguise you're looking at. I dyed my hair, put glasses on. He did not recognize me, and I was recording that angle right there, the other angle of him. I was sitting at the table right next to him, actually. And he was talking about this meeting in the tank, and he actually said, and I know you played the whole tape. What I thought was most relevant is when he said, don't share this with anybody. I'm not supposed to be sharing this with you. He's also talking about artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and the classification and declassification of that, working with other countries.
Yep, that's right, Six. He calls them. James O'Keefe calls his undercover spies in the dating apps his American swipers.
Is what he was talking about on that. And I know that they're taking this very seriously, just like with the CIA story, Alex, we did back in May. They're actually talking to me. The spokesperson and I are playing, we're on the phone.
Joe Cool.
Which is interesting. And I also pointed out today that it's really an extraordinary series of events that not a single member of the Washington, D.C. press corps has reported this story, Alex. It's like, they're no longer just not reporting news. They're actively engaged in news suppression. When a top official in the Pentagon and former special agent at the FBI has been terminated, and they're not even talking about it. Really wild. What a time to be alive.
Well, James, it's important for all of us not to have amnesia. I learned when Trump was president-elect, he was being spied on because I was, and we had some contacts and things. And then it came out with the Crossfire Hurricane and all the rest of it that Obama left a big network behind to frustrate and block and try to find something to remove Trump and remove his crew and his staff and target General Flynn and others. And then I was targeted famously in all the lawfare, and that's come out in Congress. So this is just a replay of what they did before. This time we're all watching very closely, and you're doing such an incredible job, and your crew is. But this is a big deal. This is what they did to Trump last time. Yeah. They're trying to do it again, and this guy needs to go to prison. Listen, this is secret national security stuff, even what he's doing. And the meetings are treasonous in my view. But what I'm saying is that him running around blabbering about all this, this is outrageous. Go ahead.
I think the difference is that this time around, last time the FBI raided me. I know that you've been through some things. And when I confronted him, I actually said, what are you going to do, raid me? I almost taunted him a little bit. I think the difference is they are demoralized and obviously discouraged, and I think that's making a big difference in their inability to. What are they going to do to us at this point? We've caught them dead to rights. They're admitting it. They're being fired. So the hunter, I like to say, has become the hunted. The people that were hunting us are now being hunted by people they were hunting prior, and it's a big deal that what he's saying. And I think it's going to hopefully deter a lot of other bad actors in the government from doing likewise.
James, I totally agree. You caught the Hillary Clinton deep state Democrat operative, Booz Allen's CIA liaison to the Pentagon, in the tank, secret bunker governments under the Pentagon, literally plotting a coup in progress. This is incredible.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing story. It's going to be a developing story. We have another one next week, Alex. I don't just do one. And sometimes the bureaucracy, let me tell you something, sometimes it's not as sexy as people think, the deep state and how they obstruct and how they do this, but we're going to be reporting on. This is an ongoing series of stories involving how the deep state actually works. We're going to personify it. We're going to ask them for comment, quote them fairly and
You're
accurately.
showing the man behind the curtain real fast. When does your confrontation with this clown
the next
drop?
15 minutes. We just
got that
finished
too.
exporting it. It'll be live in a moment.
I know you got to go, but we only got a 2-minute break. I want to come back just 3 minutes with you and crowdsource so that other whistleblowers can hear from you and how we really take this over the top to discourage this ongoing coup plot. James O'Keefe just probably saved Trump. We'll be right back. In the battle for our republic that we've now turned the tide on and are winning, James O'Keefe has been the MVP. You can count on one hand the people that have been absolutely essential, but none of that would have been possible without the whistleblowers coming to James O'Keefe and his great team and him being willing to be arrested and persecuted and sued and everything else, and you supporting him through that. And the same goes for us here at InfoWars. Keep backing the people that keep delivering, that are for real.
A10 go. That was a pretty bad impression, but that's pretty cool, though. Those things are insane. They have so much power in those machine guns that it basically cancels out half of the thrust of the A10 itself from the jet engines or whatever kind of engines they have. Pretty nuts.
But James, I mean, I could care less about LeBron James or Leonardo DiCaprio or any of these people. I wouldn't even meet with them if they wanted to. I just such an honor to know you and be friends and just to see what you're doing, because my children have a real shot at a good future because of you. I know you got to go. You're about to drop this new interview. We're going to air it as soon as it comes out. But it is beyond critical that I know most people know this, but if you're a whistleblower on any level, describe to people what you're looking for, what they should do, explain to them that it's very safe. You guys have protected your whistleblowers because they're the game changers. You're a focal point of the most valuable players, but it's all of us together. So explain that.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a foundation now. It's called Citizen Journalism Foundation. It is a 501c3. I used to work at Project Veritas, and what I've learned in my life, having done this for almost 20 years, Alex, I've known you for a dozen years and been a bumpy ride, is that it's very important who you surround yourself with. And I know that's kind of a trite thing or a cliche, but I think I've learned that who you surround yourself with is really everything, and especially when you're a truth teller and you're speaking truth to power and you're successful at it, you better make sure the people that are next to by your side are unbreakable. So what we do now is we recruit people who are whistleblowers,
30 mil
and
whiskey.
We support them. And how we support them is by sometimes paying for their legal bills, finding them a job. I think with the incoming administration, with Trump, these executive branch agencies, Tom Homan, the head of various agencies, I think they'll actually create an environment where people can tell the truth and not lose their job. So that's my vision.
Hopefully we have a ton of whistleblowers coming out as a result of Trump getting in. And yeah, the A-10 Warthog is equipped with the GAU-8A Avenger 30mm hydraulically driven 7-barrel Gatling-style autocannon. Brutal. And just so you guys know, Crazy Beats, let me know that Joe Biden will be giving his farewell address tonight at 9. So we will be tuning in to that in a little bit. Looks like it's beginning the broadcast at 8, but the post over here. So maybe it's beginning at 8. So maybe we'll tune in there in a couple seconds and see what's going on as soon as that begins. Let's jump over to the next segment of this thing. The wild interaction as O'Keefe confronts top Pentagon official caught on tape saying he's in a conversation with, quote, retired generals to explore what we can do, unquote, to, quote, protect people from Trump. And he was not happy about this. This guy is a straight up liar. Now he's not saying anything about his little secret subversion operations.
Jamie, you're a spy hunter, you say.
He's with another chick,
I'm a spy hunter too, but I'm evidently a better spy hunter than you.
Oh, that must have been O'Keefe's spy. Look at that. She was with him. They blurred out her face. She led O'Keefe to the guy, and then as O'Keefe shows up, she walks away, and the guy looks at her like, what the fuck? Realizing she's a spy. Look at this again.
Jamie, you're a spy hunter, you say. Well, I'm a spy
There she
hunter
goes.
too, but I'm
Looking
evidently a
turned
better
to
spy
react.
hunter than you.
Where'd you go? Where'd the girl go?
Actually, we do. It's called the First Amendment. Why would you lie to me?
I'm not lying to you, and I'm not.
Do you lie every day at work?
No, I'm not lying.
Then why did you say that you are working with retired generals?
What are you talking about?
You were a special agent with the FBI. You worked for Hillary Clinton. You worked for the State Department. You talk about hunting spies. What if my undercover person was a Russian spy?
Go away, you liar. You're a known fraudster. You have a poor reputation. No one believes you. Go away. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so this is the former FBI special agent. Is that right?
You're an asshole. You're an asshole. Go away. Go away.
There's no reason to get upset, sir.
There is a reason.
Who's the asshole?
Leave me alone. Bothering people in public.
No, I'm reporting on what you're saying. Because there's a First Amendment in this country, and I recognize you government people don't like.
And it's of a national security interest. Let's be real.
To get away with your freaking fraud and threats.
Well, that fraud is a very serious accusation.
He's just so mad he's not getting that punane. Watch that girl walk away. And you get your date replaced by James O'Keefe. The worst possible thing that could happen.
That's a form of psychological projection. There you have the government official, quite angry. Jamie, you work in national security.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm embedded in the Pentagon. I work in the Joint Staff, which is the top military
embedded, deep state
command.
You're a FBI agent, right? Special agent with the FBI? Former special agent with the FBI?
What is this?
And you're currently working as an advisor to the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon?
What is this?
What this is
Leave me alone. What is this?
I'm a journalist, and
what is this? You're busted. That's what this is.
Story on people within the administrative state, people that work for the executive branch agencies.
You have no permission to use it.
Actually, we do. It's called the First Amendment.
No.
Yeah, and it's called a single consent state in a public area.
And we have a right to record
One-party
on these
consent
streets.
state?
I'm not interested in
Or
talking
DC?
to you.
Well, I'm interested. You've already talking to us. You've already spoken to us quite a bit. Now, do you think it's ethical as a advisor to the Pentagon officials?
What's up, bro?
Do you think it's ethical for you to be doing all this political stuff, fundraising?
Please leave me alone.
I'm a taxpayer, sir. I have a right to know about what you guys do. And
Oh my God, I'm not fundraising for anybody.
So the phone call with the retired generals will probably be about raising money.
what's the name of the organization that you work with the retired generals?
I'm not fundraising for anyone.
You said that you guys were going to fundraise. What were you going to do with the money that you guys get?
To hire staff.
Then why did you say that you are working with retired
What are
generals?
you talking about?
I'm quoting you.
You're not quoting me.
I'm in conversation with a couple of retired
Better to
generals
just say nothing, bro.
to try to explore what we can do.
I have you on videotape.
What videotape?
Videotape.
You're not a spy. You're not trying to like collect information from me.
Wow.
I'm just
Still
A
good.
secret recording featuring you talking about working with retired generals. Why would you?
Let's pause. We'll come back to this.
Nation. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good evening again, everyone. In just a few moments from now, President Biden will be delivering his farewell address to the nation from the Oval Office. The president in the final days of his administration reflecting on a political career spanning 5 decades. In a letter to the American people today, he says, serving the nation has been, quote, the privilege of my life. Tonight, President Biden is expected to look back at his own legacy while at the same time discussing how he sees the country moving forward. The president writing today, history is now in your hands. He came into the White House when America was in the grips of the pandemic and millions of Americans were out of work. He will leave Washington with unemployment down to 4.1%. The president saying his administration created more than 16 million jobs.
Weird stuff going on with this guy's
2024
mic.
was a record year for the stock market. His crowning achievement, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. Despite all of that, many Americans still struggling with the effects of inflation, especially the high cost.
Yeah, especially when the honey pot is like a big thing in Washington.
Cost of groceries. In July, he dropped out of the presidential race amid intense pressure from within his own party and concerns about his ability to serve another term. On Monday, America and the world will witness the peaceful transfer of power, and President-elect Donald Trump will make his return to the White House. Let's listen tonight to President Biden from the Resolute Desk in the Oval Office.
It's going to be so funny.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today. After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, my administration, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans. This will be my final address to you from
Omega. Good to see you.
From the Oval Office, from this desk as president. And I've been thinking a lot about who we are and maybe more importantly, who we should be. Long ago in New York Harbor, an iron worker installed beam after beam, day after day. He was joined by steel workers, stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built
originally intended for Egypt.
not by one person, but by many people from every background and from around the world. Like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage. She's on the march, and she literally moves. She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather, to stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches, but she never falls into the current below. An engineering marvel. The Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol of the soul of our nation. A soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart. And yet, through good times and tough times, we've withstood it all. A nation of pioneers and explorers, of dreamers and doers, of ancestors native to this land, of ancestors who came by force, a nation of immigrants who came to build a better life, a nation
embarrassing sound
holding
quality.
the torch of the most powerful idea ever in the history of the world, that all of us are created equal, that all of us deserve to be treated with dignity, justice, and fairness.
Shut up. Real quick, yeah, the Statue of Liberty was originally intended to be a colossal statue in Egypt. French sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi proposed the idea in 1867, envisioning a 100-foot tall statue called Egypt Carrying the Light to Asia. The statue was to be placed in Port Said, Egypt, and would have acted as a lighthouse for the Suez Canal. It was designed to represent a female Egyptian peasant holding a torch, symbolizing progress and enlightenment. However, the Egyptian ruler at the time, Ismail Pasha, rejected the proposal due to financial constraints. Bartholdi then redirected his efforts to the United States, where the statue was completed and dedicated in 1866. So like the quote on the statue, "Give us your poor, your huddled masses," that has nothing to do with America. It's a fucking Frenchman who gave it to us over 100 years after the founding. They try to pass it off as if it's like original Americana philosophy. Nope.
That democracy must defend and be defined and be imposed, moved in every way possible. Our rights, our freedoms,
What
our
are you
dreams.
talking about?
But we know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it are constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power and the exercise of power. But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example, whether we show the courage to stand up to the abuse of power or we yield to it. After 50 years at the center of all of this, I
You
know
fucked us.
that believing in the idea of America means respecting the institutions that govern a free society, the presidency, the Congress, the courts, a free and independent press, institutions that are rooted They just might not reflect the timeless world.
Are you saying that CNN and MSDNC and all these fucking controlled corporate media cartel companies are independent? They're the mouthpiece of the federal government and the demon rat party. Give me a break. We don't have independent media. This guy's so full of shit.
Words, but they echo the words of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, rooted in the timeless words of the Constitution. We, the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances. It may not be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years, longer than any other nation in history that's ever tried such a bold experiment. In the past 4 years, our democracy has held strong. And every day I've kept my commitment to be president for all Americans through one of the toughest periods in our nation's history. I've had a great partner in Vice President Kamala Harris. It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers getting us through a once-in-a-century pandemic. The heroism of service members and the first responders keeping us safe. The determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms instead of losing their jobs to an economic crisis that we inherited. Millions of Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses and industries, hiring American workers, using American products. And together, we've launched a new era of American possibilities. One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history, from new roads, bridges, clean water, affordable high-speed internet for every American. We invented the semiconductor, smaller than the tip of my little finger, and now is bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs. Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for millions of seniors. And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun safety law in 30 years and bringing violent crime to a 50-year low, meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to toxic materials, and to their families, providing medical care and education benefits and more.
Happy New Year.
For their families. You know, it will take time to feel the full impact of all we've done together. But the seeds are planted, and they'll grow and they'll bloom for decades to come. At home, we've created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other single administration, a single term. More people have health care than ever before. And overseas, we've strengthened NATO.
They're like everybody in Soviet Russia had a job. More people had a job than ever before, but they're digging a fucking ditch and refilling it, and there's no production, no gain. So everybody has health care, but it's fucking garbage. So is that good?
Ukraine is still free. And we pulled ahead of our competition with China. And so much more. I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished together for the American people. And I wish the incoming administration success, because I want America to succeed. That's why I've held my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power, to ensure we lead by the power of our example. I have no doubt that America's in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous and that's the dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today,
like yours,
an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get
Without
ahead.
meaning this time to sound like a smartass, are you cracked?
Are you fucking cracked, Joe Biden?
We see the consequences all across America, and we've seen it before. More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy, just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to. Workers want rights to earn their fair share. You know, they were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen. We've got to do that again. In the last 4 years, that is exactly what we've done. People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share of taxes. So much is at stake.
Get rid of
right
taxes.
Now,
how about that?
The existential threat of climate change has never been clearer. Just look across the country, from California to North Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world.
No?
And the rest of the world is trying to model it now. It's working, creating jobs and industries of the future. Now, we prove we don't have to
That's crazy. Oh, that's what a crazy person would say.
choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy. We're doing both. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives.
God, this guy, man. You are shutting down innovation.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Everything you do stifles production, stifles innovation, stifles our capacity, shuts down our energy, shuts down everything. Nobody can get anything done, like Mama Mac and their biorefinery. Nobody can do anything. This guy's so full of shit.
We see the same dangers of the concentration of technology, power, and wealth. You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation.
Yeah, from you right now. This is not a farewell address. It's an attempt to reframe his abysmal presidency.
Information, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit.
No, the fact-checkers are the ones smothering the truth with lies. The truth can only be figured out with free and open discussion and debate in the free marketplace of ideas. When you shut people down and censor them and fact-check, you're using lies to stifle the truth. Everything he says is fucking completely opposite from reality.
We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy and our security, our society, for humanity. Artificial intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it. But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work, and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy and good for all humankind. In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern. And as the land of liberty, America, not China, must lead the world in the development of AI. You know, in the years ahead, It'll help to be, it's going to be up to the president, the presidency, the Congress, the courts, the free press, and the
What did
American
you say?
people to confront these powerful forces. We must reform the tax code, not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making them begin to pay their fair share. We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions. We need
Like
to get
yours?
it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office. The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute, and it shouldn't be. And in a democracy, there's another danger to the concentration of power and wealth. It erodes a sense of unity and common purpose. It causes distrust and division. Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning. And people don't feel like they have a fair shot. We have to stay engaged in the process. I know it's frustrating. A fair shot is what makes America America. Everyone's entitled to a fair shot, not a guarantee, but just a fair shot, an even playing field, going as far as your hard work and talent can take you.
Then why are you guys pushing equity, which is the exact opposite of that?
We can never lose that essential truth, remain who we are. I've always believed, and I've told other world leaders, America can be defined by one word: possibilities. Only in America.
Yeah, and you shut down possibilities with your mountains of regulation and red tape to prevent people from being able to explore and harness those possibilities. Scumbag.
We believe anything is possible. Like a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, sitting behind this desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. That's the magic of America. It's all around us. Upstairs in the residence of the White House.
Probably even before that,
walked
Craig.
by a painting of the Statue of Liberty.
Probably
I don't know how many
1800s.
In the painting, there's several workers climbing on the outstretched arm of the statue that holds the torch. It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, the son of an immigrant, whose job was to climb that torch and polish the amber panes so rays of light could reach out as far as possible. He was known as the keeper of the flame. He once said of the Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope that anyone who seeks and speaks freedom can understand. Yes, we sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm, to stand the test of time. A constant struggle, a short distance between peril and possibility. But what I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people.
Thankfully, it's ending now, Jerry.
As well as public service and first responders across the
Sorry
country
to subject you guys
and
to
around
this.
the world. Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members and your families, it's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief. And of course, to Kamala and our incredible partner, historic Vice President. She and Doug have become like family. And to me,
historic how?
Family's
Nothing.
everything. My deepest appreciation to our amazing First Lady who's with me in the Oval today. For our entire family. You're the love of my life and the lives of my love. My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years
Our
of public
eternal
service,
hatred to you.
I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strengths of our institutions.
You don't, though. You keep talking about democracy. We're a republic. You don't even understand the idea for which this nation stands.
Institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
Fuck you, Joe.
President Biden at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, his farewell address to the nation, saying it's your turn to stand guard. He talked about democracy, that it must be.
Yeah, it's not a fucking democracy. Fuck all these people, man. Who is it? Said, Pullen McGroin, thank you for leaving. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. I hope the door does hit him in the ass. Knocks his fucking ass over. Oh, man. Yeah. So that just happened. Sorry, Sin Lu Wu, if you just threw up. I bet that was more enjoyable than actually listening to Joe Biden, though. So at least you're on an upswing. May lightning strike your ass on the way out. Demon! Yeah, 6. Exactly. All right. So that's over and done with now. Bye-bye, Joe. Fuck you. Let's jump back over to James O'Keefe confronting this Jamie Menina, Special Advisor, Joint Staff, Department of Defense asshole. The spy hunter who was surrounded by spies and didn't even realize it.
You're not a spy? You're not trying to, like, collect information from me?
I wish I was. That'd be cool.
A secret recording featuring you talking about working with retired generals. Why would you lie to me?
I'm not lying to you, and I'm not.
Do you lie every day at work?
No, I'm not lying.
Okay.
You don't have permission to use this information. I'm not lying. I'm not raising.
What are you going to do? Raid me?
What?
Raid me?
O'Keefe is ballsy.
Please.
I will leave you alone, but I want you to answer our questions. I want you to answer these questions.
Yeah, good call. Let's timinate the YouTube feed and go Rumble and X-clusive. If you guys are watching on YouTube, come join us on Rumble and X, where the water is warm and we can speak freely. We all float down here on alt tech, so come join us. If you can't make it, we'll catch you on the flip side for more Common Censored. Until then, let's get ready to rumble!